Hi students, I am Prakash, Academic Advisor, Masterminds. Here is a very small video on care to be taken after completion of each examination in public exams. So earlier I have recorded videos on care to be taken 30 days before the examinations, care to be taken 1 week before the examinations, care to be taken 1 day before the examinations, care to be taken on the day of examination, care to be taken while writing the exam. All these series of videos I have been doing, and this is also a part of that series. So immediately stop thinking about the exam that you have already written, either good or bad. Even if you have written your exam well, then forget about that. Even if you have not written that exam well, forget about that. And see that the impact of one exam, either good or bad, does not fall on the performance of another exam. Let me share two experiences with you. So I don't want to take the names of those students due to privacy concerns. One student who was writing both groups of his CA final, he has finished writing his group 1 and he was not confident of qualifying second group. So group 1 he has finished writing all the exams. Somehow he was not happy with his performance of group 1 and he thought of quitting the exams of group 2. That means he wants to drop the examinations of group 2. All of a sudden at night 10 o'clock his father made a call to me. Sir, this is what my son is thinking. Do you recommend the same? Luckily his father is also a chartered accountant. So the only thing I have stated is, sir, irrespective of his confidence levels, irrespective of his assessment, irrespective of his satisfaction levels, let him write the group 2 also. So by quitting group 2 now, he is not going to gain anything. That's why since he has applied for both the groups, let him write both the groups. So after results, the same student has secured All India 13th rank in CA final. You can understand how tough it is to get a rank at CA final level. The problem is that student has underestimated his own performance. He has performed well, but since his expectations were very high, he thought that he did not written well. But actually he has performed well. That's why he was able to get All India 13th rank at CA final level. Let me share another experience. There is one more student who has written his first examination of CA final, that is FR, financial reporting. Somehow he was not happy with his performance. And what he told to me is, sir, I have written examination only for 60 marks. And I am not sure of qualifying this FR paper. I just want to quit this entire examination of both the groups and I will go and attempt the next attempt. And what I said is, dear student, don't afraid about your result. Do your duty. Your duty is to write the exam. You sincerely write the exam. Yes, of course, I agree that the question paper is very tough. Since the question paper is tough, you may get relaxation in valuation. Valuation will be liberal. Don't know what will be the sort of marks that you will get. As you said that you have written only for 60 marks, let's hope for the best. Let's see what will happen. Forget about result. You write the examination for both the groups. This is what we have told to him. And he has listened to our words and he has written his all the examinations of both the groups. And immediately after writing his exams, he joined for revision exams with us and started preparing for next attempt once again, thinking that he will not be able to qualify. He got qualified in both the groups and he got around 65 marks in FR paper. He said that he has written exam only for 60 marks, but he got 65. Same is the case. Sometimes we underestimate our own performance. Sometimes we overestimate our own performance. That's why see that the impact of one exam does not fall on the next examination. Once you have written your exam, it means your duty is over. You shall stop thinking about that exam from that moment onwards. For example, I have donated some 1 lakh rupees to TTT, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. The moment I donated 1 lakh, I shall forget about that 1 lakh. It's not my money. I'm least bothered whether TTD is utilizing that 1 lakh in a proper manner or not. That's not my bothering. The moment I have donated, I am no way concerned with that money. I am least bothered whether that money is properly utilized by TTD or not. So that attachment and detachment, both you shall learn. The moment you have written your exam, you must get detached to that exam. You are no way concerned. Forget about everything about that exam. You think about only the future because you cannot change the past. Past is not there in your hands. The only thing you can change is future. That's why only think about the next exam. If the question paper is tough, don't worry, valuation will be liberal. So you may feel that you are not written your exam well, but until you see the marks awarded to you, you cannot come to any judgment. You may be wrong in your assessment. Even if you did not write your exam well, forget about what has happened and think about the next exam. See that the impact of one exam does not fall on another exam, especially when the paper is tough. Because whenever the paper is tough, we underestimate ourselves and we keep on blaming ourselves for our poor performance. Don't worry, when the question paper is tough, valuation will automatically be liberal. Never give up. Even if you did not write one exam well, try to attempt all the papers of the groups which you have applied. If you have applied for both the groups, whether you have written the group 1 properly or not, till the completion of group 2, you write your exams. For example, in case of cricket match, one-day international match. So, no one will give up till the end of the match. Even in the last over, any wonder may happen. Any miracles may happen. And we have seen several incidents where the entire match gets turned up in just 1 or 2 last overs. That's why, my dear students, never give up. You need to wait till the completion of exams and perform well. Your only duty is keep performing well. Forget about result. If you have applied for both the groups, then try to attempt both the groups even if you did not perform well in group 1 exams. In simple words, see that the impact of group 1 does not fall on group 2. If you do so, you may qualify in group 2 but not in group 1. Anything is okay, na? You may fail in group 1, but at least you will qualify in group 2. If group 1 papers are tough, obviously group 2 papers will be easy. Why don't you take an advantage of that? Even if you did not prepare well for group 2, at least to prepare the guest questions are important areas in all the chapters and attempt group 2 also. If you have applied for both the groups and you did not prepare well for group 2, don't worry. You prepare all the important questions and go to the exam. So you may qualify in group 2. Let me share my own experience. When I have written my CA final exams, I was not at all confident of group 2. I was confident of group 1 of qualifying, but I was not confident of group 2. So for me, DT and IDT, direct taxes and indirect taxes, used to be like nightmare. I did not like those subjects. That's why I did not prepare well. But due to my brother's pressure, I have written both the groups. I have applied for both the groups and I have written both the groups. As far as DT and IDT is concerned, I have prepared only the amendments. Luckily, in my attempt, there was a huge weightage for amendments, and I just got 40 marks, only 40 in my IDT paper, and I qualified both the groups because I got surplus marks in group 1. If I have written group 2 alone, I would have not qualified because I did not got the 200 marks of aggregate in group 2. Luckily, I got some surplus marks in group 1 and those surplus marks got carried forward to group 2 and I qualified both the groups. If I have not written my group 2 in that attempt, I would have not become a chartered accountant by this time. So, I have become a qualified chartered accountant only by one thing. I have listened to the words of my brother and written all my exams sincerely, irrespective of my confidence levels. So that's why, my dear students, never give up. You try your level best till the end. Immediately start preparing for the next exam. The moment you have written your exam, your duty is over. You start focusing on the next exam. Don't discuss anything with anyone, especially with respect to your performance. Don't discuss anything with anyone. Don't listen to the conversation of others with respect to exams. Whatever you have written, forget about it. Don't discuss answers of any questions after completion of exam. If possible, you better tear off the question paper after completion of exam. If you don't have self-control, you better tear off the question paper. If you have self-control, keep it aside and don't look at the question paper, and don't worry whether you have written correct answers or not. Forget about what you have written. Immediately after completion of each exam, you will have 1.5 days of time to prepare for the next exam, assuming that exams will be conducted on alternative days. Utilize that time in the best possible manner. So prepare a perfect plan to prepare for the next exam. That means you identify the number of hours available in these 1.5 days. You will have at least 24 hours of time, to prepare well for the next exam. You allocate this 24 hours of time for each chapter. So this chapter 1 hour, this chapter 2 hours, this chapter 3 hours, this chapter 1 hour. In that manner, you allocate the available time among all the chapters. If you don't allocate, what happens is, you will start with the first chapter. You will try to prepare each and every question, each and every problem given in that chapter. By the time you finish off that chapter, you might have already finished 4 to 5 hours of time. So it will create unnecessary tension in you. That's why you allocate your available time among all the chapters in a perfect manner and stick to that. If you allotted 2 hours for a chapter, you strictly prepare the chapter in only 2 hours. Don't allot additional time for that chapter. If in your earlier revision you might have striken off some easy or unimportant areas, don't waste your valuable time in revising those areas. Whatever the things you have striken off, leave it. Don't prepare those areas. Whatever the things you have marked as important, focus on those areas. Whatever the areas you have not striken off, focus on those areas only. Don't try to revise each and every question, each and every problem available in this short period of time, because it's not possible for anyone to revise entire content in this very short period of time. Try to revise only important areas in each chapter which you have identified earlier. You might have earmarked some important areas as important, and you focus on those areas only. You might have not striken off certain areas. Obviously, they are also important. You focus preparing or revising those areas only rather than each and every question or problem in the material. Try to revise the questions or problems or MCQs that were either wrongly answered or left unanswered by you in revision exams and pre-final exams. So in revision exams, question papers and pre-final exams question papers, you might have left unanswered some certain questions. So try to identify those questions and try to revise those areas. You might have wrongly answered some areas. You try to revise all such areas, because if the same question comes in the public exam again, you shall not commit any mistake. So try to gather and revise all sets of question papers of pre-final exams conducted by the management. And everybody knows that RTPs, MTPs are very important for any attempt. So please revise RTPs and MTPs thoroughly with respect to that particular attempt thoroughly and go to the examination. So all these points indicate the care you need to take after completion of each public examination. All the best, my dear students.